let's call the meeting to order. First things first, approval of last meeting's minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? No. All right, that takes care of that. President's remarks. I detest having to be back here in this weather. Has nothing to do with the place or the people, it's just the weather. And I'm sick. And that takes care of my remarks. Office update.
I have a lot more to say.
See, I didn't have anything to say.
Okay, so this year with the mailing of statements, rather than putting that claim document that I put along with the letter, I just went ahead and sent the letter. In part because I ran into something, I told you about it, Tony, a couple months ago, that said I cannot file claims because I'm not a registered debt collector. So I sent an email to our attorney, Amber Bryant. Remember, she did the webinar or Zoom meeting months ago now. And she was kind to respond and said, indeed, I cannot file claims. But you can. So I'm taking what that to me, and this is an actual, you as the board.
Oh, the board.
Okay.
In the past, I always make all paperwork, the president or whoever would sign the documentation. So that's what I'm going to start doing, is having, again, the board member officer probably sign the claim document. And she also said that if there's somebody files an intent to defend, a board member must go with me. I can't, although you guys always do, I don't think I've gone to one of those without a board member with me. But that, and I said, well, I've been doing this for years, and I have power of attorney, but apparently that doesn't suffice. And I said, well, why wouldn't the judge have pointed this out? And I'm not going to say what her response was, because there are people who are native to this county and they might be offended.
Well, no, but the other thing is you're assuming the judge cares. He just wants to get,
I think so. He just wants to get it. He's assuming that I am doing what I'm allowed to legally do.
Yeah, just get it off my back.
Exactly. So then the other thing that is important to note, I was informed about a Corporate Transparency Act. Indeed, I knew that would be a reaction. So I went ahead and what that is that the board, I have to register the board members through the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which it's legislation with the intent of prohibiting, monitoring the possibility of money laundering. It's a federal legislation. So I went ahead and attended a webinar. Community Association Institute held a webinar, and I attended that last week. Right now, as it stands, most HOAs, including ours, will have to be registered. We have to do it by the end of the year. And it's in order, it's a beneficial ownership information report. By the end of the year, unless the Community Association Institute can persuade them to delay or make it that HOAs not be required. Because, well, there's a lot to it, and for some reason, I don't understand this. If you're an HOA with more than 20 full-time employees or $5 million in revenue, you're exempt from it. Which to me, the $5 million revenue.
Yeah, you take it the other way, it's more money to take.
This is the chump change
I
laundry.
know.
That's interesting.
And there's fines, there's heavy-duty fines for non-compliance, like
Let me
$500
get this
a
straight.
day.
If you have more than 5 million, you're exempt.
Yes,
Less, you have to say.
correct,
And
as
we're-
it stands right now.
That makes
That
no
makes no
sense.
sense.
It doesn't to
Right,
me
none
either.
at all.
And these webinars, you can ask questions, but it's only a 1-hour webinar. And the questions are just piling up.
Oh, yeah.
There were like 95, and like I didn't even bother.
It seems like it's just the opposite. If we had
more than 5
I agree,
Yeah.
Ronnie, but that's not what, and I double checked it on the
Well,
PowerPoint presentation, which I'll send to
We'll do what we
everybody.
have to do on that one. It's-
Well,
As they're
exactly.
$500
It's
a day.
Going to be a formality, it's
Yeah,
for us,
exactly.
because none of you have any interest, you know, a percent interest in this, you don't benefit.
No.
None of you have the power, and this is one of the things they're looking for, none of you have the power to sign a multi-million-dollar contract, or any major contract. That's always a board decision. It's not you as president saying, oh yeah, $50,000, $200,000 paving, yeah, do it. No, it's always a board decision. So it's going to be a formality. But in the end, bottom line, the attorneys that gave the webinar are saying, hold off for now.
Oh,
Because number one, you don't have to do it until the end of the year.
Mhm.
And they are trying very hard, the CAI, trying very hard to get the legislation not to apply to us.
Oh, good.
It will have to be updated every year. The accountant that I work with for one of the other small associations, he's aware of it, and he said if it comes to the fact that we have to do it, he'll help me. He'll help me fill out an online form. I looked at the form, it's pretty straightforward, but I'll need your driver's license, your date of birth, your, kind of similar to signatory power of the bank, that kind of thing. And the one thing that they're concerned about is that it's going to make it so people do not want to volunteer to be on the board.
That's right.
Because, and the other thing is that it might require a bylaw change. And that's because our bylaws require that to remove Alan, because he won't comply, it takes a vote of the membership. And let's say he doesn't want to comply, and the next meeting is not for 3 more months. And if there's a change in the board, you have 30 days to notify them, or $500 a day fine.
A bylaw change requires also.
It does. So, yes,
I mean, this is hard, whatever way,
I know. So it will
well,
require,
that becomes a question before you let somebody run for the board. Are you willing
yes.
to give up your whatever
Personal-
Well,
driver's
and that's the
license
other
or
thing that
whatever?
they're saying, is that
Well,
candidates for the
it's
board
not-
will
it's
have
not
to be
too onerous.
informed. It's not
Yeah.
real onerous, but
Yeah.
that they should be informed. And the bylaw change wouldn't be that you could just get rid of Alan for any reason, but because he will not comply for this specific reason.
Yeah.
For Alan.
The board,
Opposite.
sorry, Alan.
That's it.
So, but because
Get
a
the
particular
bullets.
member wouldn't apply or comply, the
Yeah.
board would be able to put him off the board. So, it's,
It's more paperwork.
It's
for
more
Brady.
stuff.
Yeah, why is everything more complicated? It's
I
like,
Because,
don't
because
know.
it's from the government, it's here to help.
yeah, that's what they say. So anyway, there's that.
Before we go, can you just be sure that this is thoroughly minuted, so that Mike and the others
Oh,
can
yes.
read this? and-
I'll send out the PowerPoint presentation, and you can enlarge it so you can actually see it. It's teeny tiny, because it's got pictures and lines, you know, you've seen them. Anyway, I'll send that out, and so everybody can see it. So, okay. Next, statements were mailed out, we all know that. Payments are coming in. I think I collected maybe, I just looked at it, around 30,000 so far. I don't know. Also, I had a phone call from Stacy at Tom Palagatti's office. Tom Palagatti, attorney, used to be or is still registered as our attorney of record. And he'd prefer not to be, because he's not really, it's only technically that he's still listed. Well, he gets mail. If there's a foreclosure, he gets a notification. You know, we don't even work with Tom Palagatti and haven't for years. So they asked if he could be removed, and it's quite easy. Stacy kind of directed me how to do it. She said, if you need help, go ahead. But I checked with Amber, because I thought, well, we would need to have Amber be our attorney of record. And she responded with, you don't even need an attorney of record. So
Well,
there's that, so
takes
just so
care of
you know,
that.
yeah. Okay, Jack, I mentioned this to you the other night. QuickBooks, every 3 years, has to be updated. The updated program has to be purchased. And in the past, it's been around $500, I want to say, for the 3-year subscription. So that's going up to $649 a year, Desktop Pro, which is what I have right now. told that Desktop Pro will not allow me to do batch invoicing, which I've just begun doing this past couple of years. Although they told me that before, if anybody remembers, and I thought I'm gonna have to upgrade to the next level if I wanna be able to do batch invoicing. That was the phone conversation with Intuit, who makes QuickBooks. Got off the line, looked at my own program, oh look, it's right here, I can do that. So at that point, they didn't seem to know what they were talking about. So I'm sort of talking with them right now to determine if indeed that's true or if it isn't. Jack suggested, when he and I talked the other night, that for now, just go ahead and renew what I already have at $649 a year. If I have to upgrade to the next level, it's $949 a year. That's QuickBooks Premier. Or you can do the online. $200 a month. After the first year, which gives you, they say $100, like a 50% discount the first year, but then it's $200 a month. And we don't even use QuickBooks to that degree. I use it for the books, the customers, the property owners.
Are there any alternatives? I just wonder.
I went out online to do a quick check of it, and I haven't really done enough research to determine that.
Yeah,
When they triple the price like that, it's like a
yeah,
blow off.
but I think Jack's right. For now, just
I
continue
agree.
what we have
Yeah,
and see if it'll let you do it.
right, and then next year, if it comes to not being able
Yeah,
to, then I'll,
then we'll
I need to
figure-
upgrade.
And if you upgrade in
yeah.
the middle of the year, wouldn't it be like $300, just the
Who
difference
knows?
between
Alan,
Yeah,
probably
middle
not.
and pro?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
we'll find out, you know, but it doesn't make any sense to upgrade until we find
Until
out
we
if we
find
can't
out.
do it, that's
Right,
all.
right. So that's that.
A question about, where do you back up that information?
I have an external hard drive, and I'm also on the cloud. And I usually, oh, well, and I also keep a thumb drive.
The couple, it's a couple.
Because I don't want
places.
to lose it.
I know, I've been using Quicken since January 1st of 1999, and I
Right.
use something
Right.
similar, it's more of a checkbook registry.
Well, exactly, but the thing is, if you don't upgrade, you can no longer download transactions from the bank. At some point, it no longer will work, so you have to upgrade,
Mhm.
or update, whatever you want to call it. So they do have this over the proverbial barrel, but it's aggravating. I'll have to buy it also for my laptop, because I do these other two small community associations. And then I work at home for you guys. But, so that's gonna cost me, I'm really upset about it. I was not happy with Intuit on our online
Well,
chats.
for your laptop, wouldn't you charge each of us that you work for our proportionate share? Like
Well,
we pay a third, they pay a third, they pay a
I don't
third.
think I could justifiably charge you guys. It's my choice to work at home 1 day a week. And you've allowed it, thank you very much. But it's my choice. And that's what one of the other association presidents said to me. Well, Rita, just incorporate that into your,
Yeah.
into what you're charging us. Like, well, yeah, I guess I could. I'm not much of a
It's a
business
cost,
owner.
yeah, it's a cost of doing business.
True. So anyway, I'm going back and forth with Intuit right now on online chats. So there's that. Last thing, mini excavator. I guess this really could go, it's fine, this one. I talked with Carl Bowen the other day, and the club wants him to remove some of those downed trees. You might be aware of this. I think he met with Eric, I'm not sure.
Oh, Carl?
Carl, I think he's talking about where the border is between Community Beach and the club. You guys wanted to do something down by the fence. And he would like to be able to bring a mini excavator over, across our community beach. I don't see a reason not to. I said, if you'll leave it as you found it. He said, oh, in 10 minutes with the wind blowing, it will be as we found it. But,
No, but I mean, well, we still have those sticks in the ground, don't we?
well, the fence?
Yeah.
You should
Yes.
get through that though.
Well, who are
How big is an excavator, isn't it?
Mini excavator, oh, well, he should be able to.
Little-
I don't
yeah.
know, that's a good
Well,
question.
yeah, as
He was
long,
down there just the other
yeah,
day.
as long
so
as he leaves it,
apparently
as long
can,
as he leaves it the way he
as he
found
found it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
that's fair.
okay, I just told him, I thought so, but I wanted to double check, so anyway, okay, that's it.
Oh, all right.
Yay.
Good. At least somebody's getting some work done. Let's do committee reports quickly. Oh, okay, Rhea, you have roads and operations here.
Yes, so you all have a spreadsheet from Steve. Steve is in Spain, I think, right now. He won't be back until the end of the month, so any major questions will have to wait for him.
Which spreadsheet are you looking
So the
at?
big,
Oh, this
yeah, that
one.
one. So, this is, no, we don't have John Wood on here because he was so much higher price than what Grover's Landscape. So this is just Grover's first price, and then the second row is his revised column. And this is, you know, removing the driveway on Ottawa that everybody felt was not necessarily, not our problem. So that's gone out of the first column. That's why it's less, it's 65.51. But Steve spoke with Mike Toro from Grover's and wanted a few changes in what he was intending to do, based on getting fabric and a different size stone and so on. So this is the revised price, the 10/18/96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 different sites.
Didn't we talked about this last
We
meeting?
did talk
Yeah.
about it, and that's, yeah.
There was some crazy disparities in
Oh,
some
yeah,
prices
huge.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, there was,
It wasn't our decision that all we needed was final prices,
this is final price.
and we have final prices,
Yes.
and so,
Yes,
okay,
Looks
that next,
generally okay.
yeah, that next to the last column, that's the revised final price, right?
correct, correct.
65.51.
No, 10,818.
Oh, 10,000.
Oh,
That was the
it's-
second one?
It's the second,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
so what went up?
because
Beach Drive.
he wanted fabric added to some of the job sites where I think John Wood had included fabric with his pricing. And so that made Steve want to meet again with Mike Toro, and they met, and I'm not sure where, but there are certain areas that now have fabric, and then different stone than what
Okay.
had originally been
Yeah, but
suggested by
for
growers.
each item, the change in price isn't that much.
No.
In fact, a couple of them fell. Yeah, no, I don't, do we have to vote on
We have
this?
to have a motion.
Is there a motion
A motion to accept?
to accept, yeah, to accept the final price?
This is like a bid, right, basically?
No, basically, yeah. And
Yeah.
of course, you had John's to look at last month. I just cut it out of the spreadsheet because it's getting too big. But we all know it was 30,155 for the same sites.
Yeah, it was like a
That's
factory
3 times
built,
as
yeah.
high, even with this increase
Mhm.
now.
And, you know, like Jack was saying, he added 552 beach. I don't think that was on there before. Did it was, was it on the first bid?
Is it the fourth one?
It's the last item.
Oh,
Because there's beach on the other page too.
Yeah, page 2, CR6
this,
packing.
yeah, this might have been added. I really don't know. And that's why I say if you have major questions, you're gonna have to wait for Steve to get back from Europe, so.
Well, are there major questions?
No.
No.
The only big difference I see also is like the beach on the first page. But
Well, that's probably the surge stone being added,
okay.
and again, I'm not sure, but I do know that that's what Steve talked about, that he wanted them to use larger stone than what they had originally intended to use.
Okay.
And he was basing that, I think, on out in front of his own house. There's some smaller stone, and he said it doesn't fold, it doesn't stay in place.
Wash
Just wash it.
Yeah,
There are
ends
some
up in the
places,
street.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
at 552 Beach, and then there was another place, it really does end up in the street.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, we have neighbors,
Yeah.
smaller stones that go to the street.
So it just, it's like a slight area of areas that need to be fixed, and they're long and skinny.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds fine.
Is there a
to me.
motion?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, what?
No, I'm looking at it.
I was ready to quick draw.
There's still something on Ottawa Drive. I thought that was removed. It's reduced, the amount is reduced by $600.
This
I don't know.
condition resulted from our paving, right?
Or
That's
is
what
this,
it
or
was.
is this
No,
the
no.
one is this the one that Mike
I
says?
could go on 552 Beach Drive, and I'm pretty sure on 551 is as a result of the paving and
Yeah,
that
that.
drop.
Yeah,
that
but
was
it's
on the
talking
side.
about the
One top and one above it on
Yeah,
Ottawa.
Oh, okay, I
But
thought.
And-
isn't
I
this
just
the
saw
one,
the one.
isn't this the one where the conclusion was that this is really the owner's
Yes.
responsibility?
Yes,
and
so
it has
now I'm
nothing
not
to do-
sure, he reduced it in price, but
Why-
not,
why it's still there.
but it's still there.
Put a question
Well,
mark.
So I'm
then-
thinking we need to
Then that's
wait.
it, we gotta wait, that's it, moving right along.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I didn't even see that, and Steve was
That's
going
the
out
one.
of town by the time he finally got it to me.
All right,
That's gotta go out.
So, yeah.
anything else?
And just so you know, I did send a letter that Mike signed, because Mike was the one that had
Yeah,
been looking at
yeah,
this
yeah,
site.
yeah.
And the man never responded, but explaining that no, this was, his driveway is lower than the road bed now, because over the years, he's not taken care to keep it built up like he should. He's not maintained his own driveway. So, yes, it happened, and he, according to him, because of our paving, but Mike says, no, that's not the case. So, and we already did put extra stone in there, when the pavers were there. They, anyway, so, yeah, I feel like we need to.
All right,
Yeah.
anything else on,
That's
anything else on
$1,000,
roads?
so it's worth checking.
I know,
Anything else
exactly.
on operating?
No,
roads?
that's it, that's it.
Jack, finance.
Not much new to report, let's see. All the budget categories look pretty good, a few are over, we know some of them.
Which ones are over?
Let's see. Hospitality, well, we're not over, but.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, we're really.
Well, but there won't be any more major expenses for hospitality until Drum Point Day, which is in July, which is after the fiscal year.
Yeah, that's my question.
Then, some of the money was short, as I still see, it seems to be building up. I mean, is there any way we can use this show money?
I'll use some of that to pay Carl Bowen. Carl, I should have
Okay,
included this, Carl is in the community now doing that 3-year cutback. I think he started last week or so.
Just, it's just, a fair amount sitting there.
Yeah,
Nice to use
yes,
that instead of,
I agree.
okay. Oh, I couldn't remember what furniture we bought,
Go ahead.
$250. Is that
Oh,
the budget? Oh,
where?
oh wait, no, we're under budget, sorry.
Okay. I didn't buy any furniture.
I didn't think so either.
You mean that new snow fit in your living room is, oh.
Speaking of that board thing we talked
Yeah.
about earlier.
Exactly.
Another thing to note is, we mentioned before, is insurance is over budget this year,
It is,
but there's nothing to be done about it, we have to do it.
right, right.
Does that mean we should increase our amount that we need?
Maybe for next
Yeah.
year.
For
Yeah.
our insurance budget?
Which will bring me at some point to discussing the finance
Yeah.
committee.
It's coming up.
So,
So,
I'll be reaching out to all those already on the committee and anybody else that wants to pitch in and help. So we've got to start doing the new budget
Right,
in March, right?
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And just as an aside, I scheduled the community cleanup for May, whatever that was, 11th or something.
I forget.
But when I talked with the woman at Appeal Landfill, commissioners in all their wisdom are thinking they might start charging us for that. Not just, I said, well, we already pay the dump fee. And she said, yes, but they're considering charging us just to have the dumpsters running.
Well, if it's reasonable, fair enough.
Well, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But, if they're going to do a software price.
I know,
to us,
I
Forget that.
know. Right, right.
Maintenance right away, there's some mowing and trimming, it's a little over, just
Yeah.
a line item, not
Yeah.
a category.
Yeah,
So it's all right, but still, I just don't remember seeing that.
it's been that way. Yeah, that's mostly, the part that's over is, in the,
Mowing, trimming, and contingency.
in the special tax district, line. That's, it was 1,000 each, and that's the line that went over.
Okay.
I think it was 1,000.
We don't have snow removal, storm cleanup. We've already had one expenditure there, haven't
Yeah, but this is toward the end, but as of the end of January. So that occurred in February,
we? Okay.
I believe.
I
It's
forget.
about 16,000.
16,000
Yeah.
assaults.
Yeah.
Per event?
There were 2 events. No, the total was 16.
Um,
It's Monday and Friday.
But it's
First
just
one.
something we have to be careful about
Right.
when it does snow. So,
Right.
that's it. So, I don't know, while I'm still on the floor, I just wonder, what is the next step about? Should I send a message out to the finance committee?
Yes. Yeah. Just see what dates work for them for a meeting, I would say.
So some date in March.
Yeah, because it needs to be in the summer newsletter. It needs to be published in the summer newsletter.
All right, yeah, that's gonna take some work, just to see where we have to make
Yeah.
adjustments to some of these
Well, I keep
amounts.
the spreadsheet, up to, I try to keep it up to date, the budget spreadsheet. So if I see, like, the insurance is more this year, well, that's obvious. But the fact that we might pay for a community cleanup, delivery of dumpsters, I'll add that, to my notes and so on throughout the year. So hopefully we catch everything. Sometimes it's, well, this with QuickBooks, totally unexpected. I mean, everything goes up in price, I get that. But from 500-600 for 3 years to 700 to 1,000 for 1 year, that's a huge increase.
Surprise.
Yeah.
So the attorney you call from time to time hasn't charged us? at all either, nothing?
No, she's not.
It's kind of,
Well, it's been, I haven't called, it's been email, and I think in her thinking is it's a quick little response. She doesn't have to do any research, she knows the answer. I even sent her the link. I already did the research, I already sent her the link that I sent you, Tony, about the ability for me to file claims. So, yeah, no, she's something good that way.
I noticed that, we just haven't spent anything in that line
Yeah.
yet, so that's.
So hopefully next month we won't get some $2,000.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it, thank
All right, thank you. And Bonnie, are you there, environmental?
I am here, but I have nothing at this point.
Okay, good.
And I think I heard Judy was not there, because
Yeah,
she
I
might
should-
have something on.
No, not here.
Okay.
And John Lathrop is not here, and
Latham,
Latham,
Latham, Latham,
Lathrop.
Latham.
Well, what do you have Lathrop?
LATHROP.
you. Oh,
Wow, it's because I'm, pay attention.
Because I'm careless.
I do have that.
so you passed the test, though,
Good
Well,
job, I did that.
I never met him, so I guess. He could
I
be
know.
all right,
So,
well,
either way.
Latham, it's Latham.
yeah, we're gonna,
Well, shoot, now I gotta check.
and now we have the welcoming committee, Rhea.
Rhea. Indeed, yes. She has handed out, Rhea that is, 3 in the last month or so, and got 4 back there. Cindy brought in, or Jack actually brought them in, Cindy bought snacks and so on. and we have enough supplies on hand for 4 buckets, but there are 4 back there. So I need to pick up brochures.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty open until like February 29th. After that, I'll be taking care of Eric, so.
Is he having surgery?
Yeah, he's having surgery.
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing major, I hope.
hip replacement.
Oh,
Oh, that's major.
Yeah,
That's
major.
major.
but quite routine these days.
Yeah.
So, good.
All right, so it's captain rather than major.
Well,
But it's quite routine unless it's you.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly right,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not,
Well said.
it's not really invasive unless it's on your.
Yeah.
All right, planning committee, Mike's not here. Unfinished business, reserve study. Let me start this out. I know everyone is absolutely sick and tired of hearing about the reserve study. My real concern here is not just us, but what are we tying future boards into? What are we committing ourselves to? What are we committing them to? Will they ever have the opportunity to eliminate things once we include them, or will they not have the ability to include things? And some of the discussion that took place between Bonnie and Alan were very useful. Bonnie listing the things out by years, and then Alan pointing out, nobody in his right mind plans for, really, what business plans for more than 20 years out? So, why anything that's over 20 years, why is it on there? Mike's concerned that, our credibility, if you follow my advice, you just eliminate everything. Well, maybe your credibility suffers, but the quality of the study doesn't really warrant a whole lot of credibility. But I really think that our goal should be to reduce this down to logically the lowest number it can be. And some of this stuff, the way it was put together, made no sense. When they said, okay, we're gonna replace the big sign in 3 years, but we're not gonna do anything about the electricity for the big sign for, 5 or 7 years? Well, that doesn't make sense. What are they gonna do, save all the old electricity, put it on the new sign? That's not gonna happen. When they do the sign, they're gonna do everything. There were a lot of things like that just didn't make sense. Why some office equipment was removed, but not the filing cabinets? The bathroom fans, it just is internally inconsistent. And the last time I looked at it, I guess I was feeling charitable, but I left a lot of things in there that I thought should come out. And what I would like to do is I would like to ask the finance committee to take one last look at it. I don't know if you guys have been reading this stuff, if you've been following it or not, or just ignoring it because it's such a pain. But to have the finance committee take one last look at it and come back with one final recommendation, which we then get to either accept or whatever. But I am really concerned about what are we tying future boards into. And, I'm like a broken record. I don't think this applies to us. I don't, it's overreach. We're getting sucked into something. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can do that, the finance committee, we'll do it, but just one more instruction we can use is, can't we just focus on things that really need to be replaced? I tell you, if the sign goes down, or one of the other signs at the other entrances, so what? That is not, now, standpipes for fire,
Yes.
but we got it. That's so logical. Can't we just focus more on those vital
I
things instead of things that are nice?
absolutely agree. The things that are absolutely vital, that, oh, hey, we have to replace that now, as opposed to,
gets broken.
you know, if it gets broken, as opposed to, oh, the bathroom light doesn't work. Oh, we'll get to it, we'll get to
We
it.
would have a volunteer that would probably.
And that would bring credibility that you're concerned about.
Yeah.
And at that point, it would be credibility, and if we fix it, then we send something over there, we're credible, we're minimizing the costs.
You know,
We're gonna do it anyway.
yeah, you know, that was another one of my original criteria was, is this something that has to be replaced on an urgent basis? And some of this stuff, the world could end and nobody would notice it was broken.
What about things like, because I think you mentioned earlier about things that you thought you could exclude, but are big assets to the area, like the boat ramp and stuff like that?
Boat ramp should be fixed.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, again, I'm not, you know, I don't know the implications of this reserve study. How much money do they wanna put aside and look up? But again, the boat ramp, if I remember right, wasn't that like $12,000?
I don't remember.
I thought the footbridge was $12,000.
Oh, yeah, the footbridge was.
And I thought that was a big number,
But
not
no,
that I'm a part of it.
But the footbridge was, well, the footbridge was replaced by Gary and somebody working with him, and it didn't cost $12,000.
No.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, no, you know, I agree that it should be things that have to be replaced for life, safety, health, or whatever. But some of this stuff is, you know, that's, and I know everybody's tired of it, I'm tired of it,
Yeah.
but I don't want us to lock ourselves, because we don't know where this is going. And I don't want us to lock ourselves into a large amount of money just by saying, oh, the hell with it, who cares, let's just finish it, let's just send it off. I think we gotta pay a little more attention to it, but,
May I make a comment?
yes.
I'm also thinking, and I'm happy to take another hack at it myself if we agree that we have these different criteria. But if we reduce it to what we think is absolutely the minimum, and we submit it to Miller Dodson and they submit it to whomever, or however that happens, Miller Dodson doesn't get the final say, but if somebody at the state level thinks we haven't done it properly, they'll tell us, and then we'll readdress it. I don't think we should worry about just too much. It has to be, like Tony suggested, these very important infrastructure kinds of items, like I have this thing in front of me now, and there's some other things that I thought were really kind of not really, but like the well pump, the septic tank field, you know, some of that stuff.
That's
Well,
important.
To me, that would
the
be
septic
important,
tank is
yeah.
important, because it's gonna
Yeah.
start smelling, the neighbors will start
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah, I mean, things on the last time I sent out the spreadsheet, things like the carpeting, the bathroom exhaust fan, I mean.
Those things, yeah.
And it's nonsense.
Lunchroom appliances, you know, we can do that without even having, some of the stuff doesn't have to be in the reserve either, I mean, it's just kind of penny-ante stuff, really. Microwaves and stuff, you replace them, but they don't have to be set aside in the reserve in order to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But the well pump, the septic tank,
So-
and stuff like that.
Bonnie, I have a question. You said that this does not end with Miller Dodson, that they're going to go to the state, and someone from the state is going to
Well,
like,
we don't know.
I don't
I mean, that
think
would make
so.
sense,
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
I don't think that's what will happen. I think it will go on file, and what would happen, but then I think what would happen if, and I'm thinking again with condos, if a condo collapsed, then the state would come and say, let me see your reserve study, and did you adhere to it, and what do you mean you didn't, put money aside to take care of the elevators, and now they've all collapsed? That's when the state would step in. I cannot even imagine that they would send this to the state. I think it's just gonna be on file.
Much better than, because I don't think we have any, you know, we can really skinny this down, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
everything
this
over
is
20
just,
years would be, if we're, it sounds like most people agree with 20 years, we'll
Yeah,
take
20.
that, we're gonna take that out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
out.
right.
That's a big
Right.
chunk of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, even at state where they would have dream worlds after like 10 years, they didn't even think of future embassy construction 20 years out. It's like, you know, it's a fantasy.
Yeah, I can see Mike's point though about credibility because,
Yeah.
you know, here's their suggestion and it's really
No,
huge
no,
and
but you
then
know-
we're coming back with this, like a third of the, you know, what
But, you know,
they
but the thing is
suggest.
that if anybody wants to get down to discuss credibility, the answer is, well, excuse me, you really think the bathroom fan is
Yeah.
an
Well,
emergency? Or the filing? This is what the
I
original
think
report
Mike was
said.
talking
But
about,
but those things are easy.
half,
Eliminate
half
it.
seriously, just eliminate all of it.
That's
Well,
right.
that would be an issue for
Well,
our credibility. No,
yeah.
we're not going to do
Not
it.
all of it,
Yeah.
because
And if we get
I
called
think we
to,
can all agree that we don't need to
Yes.
worry about the bathroom.
if we
fan.
get called to the
Yeah, that's-
principal's office and you
Yeah,
defend it,
exactly.
you look credible
Right,
if you
right.
say, this is how I arrived at my
Yeah.
decision.
And Asha's right, we can all agree on the things that we've talked about
That are
so many
silly,
times.
yeah.
yeah, you know, it's, you know, like the guardrails, yes, okay, fine, we can put them on there, and, you know, the truth is, none of this stuff is such a high-ticket item that it would destroy us in any fiscal year.
And if there's a hurricane, would we like like if this blew away in a hurricane, would FEMA would take
We're
care of it, right?
eligible for 80%.
Yeah,
If a disaster has
Yeah,
been
FEMA, and
Declared.
plus,
declared,
and
right?
plus we have
Yes.
insurance.
Well, plus we have insurance,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, see, this is,
So.
Well, for this building, but like if
Yeah.
we lose a causeway, I don't think our insurance covers that.
no.
But FEMA certainly did 20 years ago on our first.
But, yeah, but that's the whole thing.
80%.
Okay.
You know, I just think these people sat down and they did a hack job on the study. They didn't, you know, they didn't look at how we get our money, where it comes
Right,
from,
right.
how it's controlled, how we spend it. They just threw something together, you know, one size fits all. And I don't have any great hang up with pushing back as hard as we can. So anyway, if
I agree.
the finance committee would take one last look at this puppy, and then we can shoot it, 'cause
So, but with
Put it out of its
instructions,
misery.
huh?
the finance committee needs some instructions.
Okay, the instructions are to look at it for reasonable health, life, safety features, high-ticket items that could present a problem like the guardrails, you know, the safety rails on the roads. The boat ramp. The boat ramp has to be done, because a lot of people have boats in this
Mhm.
community.
Yeah, they
and
come to
they
me
don't
to
have-
have,
they
yeah,
don't have
water access.
piers.
Then you're
Yeah.
talking about I think your housing, not prices, but value and so on.
Yeah, yeah,
It would-
you know.
it would-
Amenities.
Yeah, amenities,
Yeah,
community
absolutely.
amenities
That's
have to be taken care of.
Yes.
And, you know, so, you know, that sort of thing, yes. But this, you know, but these Mickey Mouse items, I'm sorry, doors, windows, building pumping, are we gonna plan the piping of this building in 15 years?
Well, that's why he said eliminate what you
Yeah.
don't agree.
Yeah, you know, you plan building piping in large buildings, and you come in and you go, hey, look, we don't care if the pipes still work or not, 20 years are up, we're replacing them all.
Well, I would just say that, you know, eliminating things, that they said eliminate what we don't agree.
Yeah.
The criteria should be something that is truly vital to the operation of this community.
That's
If
it.
it's not, we'll take some amenities.
Yeah,
I would say maybe none, but okay.
I think we should,
I think we
Well,
should.
no, the boat ramp,
because it's
the
gonna
boat ramp,
devalue our.
I put the
Devalue
boat
your
ramp,
houses, yeah.
yeah, I put the boat ramp in the same category as the jetty at the.
I don't say if something goes wrong, don't fix it. I'm just saying for the purposes
Right.
of this.
We don't have to, we don't have to tie up money.
Oh, yeah, like the signs. Yeah,
No.
putting-
I'm not saying, yeah, don't fix the signs with some.
Oh, yeah,
car
no,
runs
we
into
don't
them
need,
or
we just
something.
don't need the
It just
reserve.
happened,
Yeah, we don't need a reserve for the signs.
that, precisely. And there's,
It's also.
I think there's precious few things we
Something
need
goes-
a reserve for.
Yeah.
Bonnie, what were you saying?
I said, it's not clear to me if something went into the reserve, that we only use it on the things that we decided to.
That's my understanding, it's, you're putting,
So that's bad.
it's a liability that
that's-
you're,
That ties us up. That's very bad.
Yeah, that's true, that puts money in, and it ties up how we can spend it. That's another thing we should have tried to avoid, just like with the lot across the street, remember we said, oh, we're not gonna, let's pay the property tax, because it leaves us free in the future to make decisions. It's not that expensive, we'll pay it. And that's what, I don't think we should tie up future boards with decisions that we make today, and I'm afraid that some of this is gonna bite us. And I don't know, but I'm just, it just sounds like it, being an old bureaucrat, it sounds like it.
Well, okay.
You know, I
We'll have
can
another
offer to take another stab at this spreadsheet and, in REL order, if that's helpful. And that would, just for, and I've already marked the things that I thought could be excluded, but I could take another hack at it and pass it out to the board members.
Yes,
Well,
please.
no, get it to the finance committee.
The finance committee, okay.
Yeah. And I might even attend.
Yeah, you can, and as another person, I don't know, is Mike Chacona still on the finance committee?
He's not on the board.
He's still at the
No,
finance
he
committee.
is?
Finance committee can be any
Anybody?
president.
Okay,
and you should have members that are not.
okay,
Yeah,
no, that's
we-
good to know, I didn't know
Yeah,
that,
yes,
okay.
I'll sign.
Yeah, that's fine, I didn't know that,
Truth.
okay.
I spoke to him recently, and I think he was very interested in this topic.
Ah,
So if he's willing to pay some attention to it, I think we ought to take him up on it.
yes, definitely. All right, so that one is kicked the can down the road one more time. Then we have security cameras.
Oh, something's useful.
Yeah, I actually did price them out.
Something useful.
All right.
We did have a perpetrator on the beach this week, lit a fire, it was smoldering in the morning.
Really?
There's someone that drinks Medodo that has been moved from our community beach to Surf Street community beach.
It's not a community beach.
Went to the Surf Street private beach and then moved over to, on the footbridge over to like the jetty there that's,
Yeah.
so.
What do they drink?
Medodo.
What's Medodo?
Oh, and they were actually on Drum Point Club, and there was a fire on the path there as well, drinking Medodo. So if you see someone with Medodo, take
What is
a
Medodo? Is that a beer?
Mododo, like it's like a beer or.
Is it Modelo? Because Modelo's a beer.
Yeah, I've heard of Modelo.
I'll tell you what, I
I've
think
never
there's a,
heard of
there's a
Modelo.
picture of it, I think, in there. I never, here you go. I don't know, I mean, I didn't think
Yeah,
that
it's
any
gonna
of.
get worse,
Yeah.
come May, when the seniors get out, they are,
Yeah, I didn't think, I took those pictures, I didn't think anybody would find it shocking, although, the
Yeah.
trash can.
What is that, a trash can?
It's
That's
our
our trash can.
The trash
It
can,
hasn't been rescued?
No, I rescued it.
Thank you.
but that may have been
That's
called.
it.
For
a-
$100.
Huh?
It was for $100.
Well, that's it.
But that could be.
But then the
called by
reserve
the-
study
That
might.
could have been
yeah,
possible.
we had a lot of water.
Yeah.
So, I was,
That'd be a pretty picture if it wasn't for that trash.
but it was interesting because there was a fire at Drum Point Club and then there was a fire on ours and then it was served, whoever it was the same perpetrator.
And the camera got all these and didn't get it.
It was,
What's that system?
Alan's camera.
Oh,
We don't have cameras there at
Oh.
that point, but anyway, the cameras that you guys, we had talked about last time, a long story short is that we went with two, it's $502, solar panels are $119 or $120, some protective thing is $8, which is, I estimated installation at 500, I think we can get it done for that, or we could do it internally. I don't know about the gentleman that does some work for us is.
No, I don't think he could install it, no.
I mean, the technology portion of putting these together is pretty simple, but you do have to get on a ladder or something.
think-
And
high
his son would be willing,
Yeah.
but his son is extremely busy, Joe
He's
Junior.
got a job.
Steve might, Steve Rowe.
You know, I put I know I can get it done for 1,000, but I put 500 because I thought 1,000 was like some guy and just, it could be done, but anyway, that's the variable, which is either 1168 less the installation cost, the cost of the materials is fact.
I think it's pretty reasonable.
And then the subscription cell phone, AT&T, Mike had suggested we look at AT&T, I did, it's kind of a one-off for how they provide it with these security cameras, and Verizon's in the business. You could buy it from Verizon, you could buy it from Amazon, you could buy it from a distributor. So I put it at 35, because it was like $25 a month, and I can't read a cell phone bill and really make sense of it.
I know.
Anyway, so.
That's intentional.
So I added $10 a month per each, and those, that's it.
There's money in the security, there's 4,000 or so right now.
Well, and is that annual?
There's
Is that-
no,
that
it's
reoccur?
11,000 in the budget, and there's 4,808 left in the budget. And we really won't pick up any more security costs until after the first of the year, because the one thing that goes under there primarily is the beach patrol.
Police.
Oh,
But we
okay.
don't even hire police now.
Yeah.
We haven't had any off-duty police
Good.
officers for a while. So I think all of the expense that we've had so far, which was $61.92, went for the beach patrol last year. But they won't start again until Memorial Day weekend, and then Shirley will bring their hours at the end of June. So their first pay won't even hit until the fiscal year changes.
So we have 4,000, we're only gonna have
Yeah.
Memorial Day, July 1?
Yeah, July 1, and then, send out.
Well,
And that's the new fiscal year. So that 4,000 is out there, or 4,800 to be used.
so if we were to approve this tonight, what we're approving then is the 1168 for the initial cost, but then we also have to include for the 840 annual
Yes.
subscription.
Yeah, that would be.
And the understanding being that the installation may be more, maybe less.
It's basically
And
2,000.
I think I shot high on the annual, but it's not, 840 is gonna be 750, it's not gonna be,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be 950.
Right.
Well,
Oh, I really appreciate this, Alan.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
really
It's a lot of
good.
any discussion or questions, or,
I think it's looks good to me.
looks good to me.
Did you want me to, oh, go
Well,
ahead.
we gotta do a motion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anybody?
You guys have to do.
Okay, I move that we, proceed on the project to put up the security cameras based on these numbers and this cost.
And I second that
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
motion.
Right.
Aye. All right, so, and all opposed? Oh, listen to that. All right, new business. Has anybody got any new business? All right, next meeting.
I don't have one.
It's the month of March.
It is.
And
It
the
is
first,
the fifth is the first Tuesday.
yeah, the 5th is the first Tuesday. Is that acceptable?
That works for me.
Works for me.
Anybody dead set against March 5th?
It's good for me.
I may be traveling,
Well, you don't know right now, so.
but, okay.
The other option is the 12th, which is the second Tuesday.
Anybody have a preference?
go with the fifth unless something changes, no one knows.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, that sounds good.
yeah, right now it's the fifth. If people come at my house burning crosses and carrying ropes,
Why would they come
Change
to
it.
your house and?
well, they don't like the date.
Isn't March fifth something like Cinco de Mayo?
No,
No,
that's
that's
the-
May.
that's May
May.
Hey, the key there is
You're
Mayo,
joking.
Mayo.
Yeah, I'm really well informed. Very,
All right, so I guess that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Nikki.
It was a pleasure.